All right, ladies and gentlemen, picking up where we left off the other day, we are still working with average rates of change. Sometimes, however, I might be given a table of values, okay, and I'm asked to find the rate of change over the interval 0 to 4, but I am specifically told here that the average rate of change of this function h of x is 18. What does the word is tell me when I am working with something? That it's definite, that it is, it's what? What am I going to be writing? Okay, I got to write an algebraic expression for my slope, but if my average rate of change is 18, what am I saying? That the average rate of change equals 18. Okay, so right here, just a reminder, this is another way of saying the interval 0 to 4. Okay, so these are the two ordered pairs that I'm going to use. Now what I notice is that I am missing the y value for when x is 4. Okay, so I'm going to set up my formula, okay, and I'm going to say that h of 4 minus h of 0 over, 4 minus 0 is 18. This is just the y value, the output for when I plug in 4 into that function. Okay? Now that is the one that I don't know. So this h of 4 cannot change. But what is h of 0? 2. So I'm going to leave h of 4 alone. And then I'm going to change the h of 0 to 2. And then in the denominator right here, if I go ahead and simplify that, that's just 4. All right. Question, how do I get rid of division? Multiplication. So if I want to get rid of division by 4, I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. Okay, that leaves me with h of 4 minus 2 is equal to 18 times 4 is 72. And if I'm trying to solve for h of 4, if that's my goal, what do I need to do? Add 2 to both sides. Okay, so I'm just going to show adding 2. And I'm going to say that h of 4 is equal to 74. Okay? You've got a couple of those in your practice where you're given what the average rate of change is equal to, and you're trying to find one of these 4 things. Okay? All right. Now, let's flip it over and let's look at this FRQ type question. Okay, we're going to do this together. All right, right here it says, the graph below gives Nikola Technologies revenue R of P for Bluetooth headphones. The x-axis represents the price of headphones. Label the x-axis price in dollars. Okay, I'm going to go to my x-axis and I'm going to write price and then a dollar sign. It says label the y-axis revenue in millions of dollars. So I'm going to turn my paper sideways. And I'm going to write that this is my revenue in millions. And then I'm just going to put a dollar sign so it will fit. In millions of dollars. Okay? All right. It says, at what price or prices will a tech company make no money on the headphones? Explain why. Where are the 2 locations that you see that my revenue is $0? When x is 0 and when x is 110. Okay, so I'm going to say at x equals $0 and x equals $110. Now, there's an important sentence. It says explain why. So you cannot just stop there, okay? Why, when the price is $0, do I make no money?
Because you're not selling.
Because you're not selling anything, okay? So I'm going to say at free cost, okay, $0 is made. Okay, what do you think about at $110? It's too expensive to buy. So I'm going to say no one wants to buy the product. Okay, so when the cost is free, you're not making anything. And at $110, nobody wants to buy it because it just costs too much. Okay? All right, now, let's say that 2 employees are just standing around talking about whether or not these headphones are selling. Okay? Now, it says one thinks that $45 per set is the best for making revenue, or the revenue, okay? And another thinks maybe they should sell for more than $50. Use the graph to analyze this discussion, and is either employee on the right path? Well, I'm going to come here to my graph, and I'm going to look when the price is 45, that's halfway between right here. I'm going to kind of sketch that, and I'm going to come up to where it hits the graph. And I'm just going to mark this output R of 45. And then I'm going to mark it when X is 50 also. So I'm going to label this one R of 50. Okay? Now, first of all, I'm going to write the disclaimer that they may or may not have access to this graph. Okay? The employees may or may not have access to the data shown on the graph. Okay? So right here, all we're going to say is they're just making an educated guess. They are making an educated guess, which is close to the maximum revenue. Would you say that maybe they're on the right track?
Yeah.
I think so. They're pretty close to that. Where do you think the graph is showing me the maximum revenue? At 55. So right here, okay, I'm going to draw a vertical line down here to my graph, okay? And yeah, I would say that that's about at 55. Do you see that 55 is halfway between the 0 and 110? Okay? Now, just a reminder, this is a quadratic function, okay? And quadratic functions are symmetric. This right here represents an axis of symmetry. So this graph right here, the maximum point is going to be halfway between the X values. So The company goal is to have maximum revenue. What would be the best price for each set of headphones, and explain how you know. So right here, I'm going to show that I'm averaging that high and low cost based on where the graph is hitting the x-axis, okay? What's 110 cut in half? 55. So R of 55 appears to be about, okay, and I'm going to estimate what that cost is right here. So I'm here on my graph at that maximum point. Okay, now that's not exactly 2100, but I feel like it's close enough for what I'm saying here, okay? So I'm going to say that R of 55 appears to be about $2,100 million in revenue. All right. Now, between P equals 0 and P equals 55, how much revenue, or how much does the revenue change on average when the price of the headphones increases by $1? So on average, how much am I going up and over? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to calculate the average rate of change for R of 55 minus R of 0 over 55 minus 0. Now, what did we estimate R of 55 to be? About 2,100. And R of 0, that was where there was an x-intercept, so my y value is 0. And that's 55. So 2,100 divided by 55. Okay, I'm going to round this to 3 decimal places, okay? So I'm going to say 38.182. All right. Now, I don't know if I showed you this notation not too long ago, but if you see a 3-dot triangle like this, did I tell y'all what that means?
No.
Okay, that is the shorthand notation for the word therefore. Okay, so right here, if I am estimating this to be about 38.182, I'm going to say therefore, for every $1 increase in price, the revenue increases on average by about baby, you're snoring. $38.182 million. Okay. Then for this last part right here, okay, I just want you to think outside the box for a minute. Could there be any factor or factors when the company might alter or adjust the price of the headphone set? Christmas time, yeah. They might make it look like it's on sale, but really they might jack the price up and then slash through it and say, okay, here's the sale price. I need y'all to make sure you're smart with your money and that you check things out like that, okay? Sometimes companies will do that to you to rip you off. Also, I would say that, like, for example, when a new iPhone comes out or a new upgraded version, Do you agree that maybe they'll put the last model on sale just because they want to get rid of those somehow? So I would say definitely yes. Okay. So this is a luxury item. It doesn't have to be bought. Okay. So the company could increase the price at the holiday season. Or decrease the price when technology changes or improves. And y'all know they are always coming out with some latest model. If a new PS comes out, okay, those new PlayStations are going to let you use the old games, but it's not going to let you use the new games. Like for a PlayStation, if a PS6 comes out sometime, they're not going to let you use a PS6 game on a PS5, right? Then you're going to have to buy all those games all over again. Yep. They're going to do everything they can to make some money, because that's what business is about, right? Make money so that you can pay your employees and live a lifestyle that you would want. Okay? All right, so that is it. I'm going to hand to you your 1.3 practice, okay? Remember, your actions in class during this time, if you run your mouth and socialize, and it doesn't matter if it's just a couple, okay? If just a couple are off task and I have to say something multiple times, I am going to take this at the beginning of class tomorrow instead of giving you the entire class. So use your time wisely. My third period lost their tomorrow class time to work on it, okay?